Okay, so in this video I want to talk about one of the most common mistakes, errors I see with beginners and their defense. And this is something that a lot of most intermediate to advanced boxers will figure out. They will do naturally, and usually it comes from all the time and training that a boxer puts in, and eventually they seem to pick this up naturally as they get more relaxed. But the problem is that with anyone who's a good boxer or intermediate boxer, you have certain skills or attributes. You don't know how you got them or when you got them. They just somehow showed up after a certain amount of time. So, what I often try to focus on with this channel is for the beginner to accelerate the learning process, to try to, solidify or compartmentalize that knowledge so that you can have it early, because you still have to go put in the time and the work. That's the hard part anyway. If somebody can teach you a jab, you learn how to throw the jab in one day. It doesn't necessarily mean your jab is any good. Now you got to go throw thousands of them in order for them to be effective and also get in shape. Certain knowledge comes after time and effort, but to get this stuff up front is going to really go a long way. The beginner boxer, also especially if you are older, older is a relative term, but if you're a young kid, tend to pick up these things quick. What I see a lot is beginners not exhaling, not relaxing into their defense. Okay, I'm going to explain in a second what I mean by that and some drills to go about fixing that. Before I get into that, I want to quickly talk about another project that I'm working on, and that is a glove design for a bag glove that I'm coming up with. I'm working with Jason Neese, who is a custom glove designer in Florida. And you can check out his website, 1v1gear.com. I'll leave a link in the description below. So Jason designs custom gloves, and if you're looking for a custom glove out of the US with all kinds of specs, then he's your go-to guy. You can contact him for that. What I'm looking at designing is a bag glove that sort of suits the type of bag glove that I like, which is a lightweight bag glove that suits a heavy hitter. So typically, if you've seen any of my other videos, I used to have those small raised bag gloves. They were 10 ounce. I like to work with a 10 ounce glove, but typically when you're working with a 10 ounce glove or even a 12 ounce, often there's not enough padding on the knuckles. So just to show you what I've got here, I cut open the glove for you guys. This first design, this is a prototype. This is layered foam right in here. So you can see you got the soft stuff, then you got the memory molded foam. Then this on the outer layer is thicker but medium, and then the inside is the most dense. And so what this does is protects the hand, absorbs the impact on the surface, and gives you some density right in the middle to reduce impact on the hand. The problem is when you're looking at a lightweight, fast movers, sharpshooter's glove, there's not much other structure to the glove, wrist support or other builds into the glove. So when you're looking at speed and you're looking at cushioning on the impact, you got to sacrifice other things. It's kind of like when you design something. Are you looking for durability or you're looking for speed? But anyways, just for this first video, this is what I'm working towards. I would love your feedback on the kind of things that are important to you in a glove, what you're looking for in a glove, just as I work on this design. So I'm trying to put this together, a good quality glove that offers the sort of stuff that most people want, stuff that I like, and also at a fair price. So I'm not talking like premium 150 and up, be somewhere in the 90 to 110 kind of range. So, lots of value in the glove at a fair price. That's what I'm looking at coming up with and designing, and your feedback would be important for that. When you see beginners work their boxing, they're always told to exhale on their punch. They're exhaling on their punch, but nobody is exhaling on their defense. Or even if they are, they're not taught to. And this leads to a couple problems. One is when it starts getting time to block and defend, you hold your breath. You're exhaling on your offense, and then all of a sudden, and if you move and exert yourself while you're holding your breath, especially while you're blocking punches, the minute you let your breath go and start trying to get a rhythm again on your breathing, you're going to be gasping for air. 2 or 3 of those in a row in a round, and you're gonna go into some serious oxygen debt. You're gonna be begging for air, holding your breath during the boxing activity, especially sparring, as something that you intentionally are not doing. It's something that just happening to you is really gonna put you behind on your breathing and on your relaxation. The other thing that I notice as well, which is very common, is beginners, they exhale and they tighten their breath and they freeze up. So for example, instead of this, where the air is constantly flowing, they'll go, and everything stops. And when you start to hold your breath like that, the minute you relax and let go, you immediately got to get in some air again to get your breathing back on its rhythm, to get oxygen back into your body. And then you start to get tired and you start to get yourself in trouble, and it's going to throw off all your rhythm right there. When your breathing is right as well, your motions are also better. And the best way to think of this is that when you block or defend, you want to think of your body, you want to think of yourself as a sandbag. You want to be a sandbag, not an ice sculpture. You don't want to be like this and turn yourself into a hard ice sculpture that if the shot is hard enough, you're going to shatter. You want to be like a sandbag where when it hits you, there's a little bit of give, or you could feel yourself relax into the punch. Now you hear a lot of this with, coaches saying to relax or to roll with your punches, and there's a give and take to it. For example, if somebody throws the right hand and I'm gonna relax, I can bring up this and I can block it, or I can go here and I can be soft and block it, and I may absorb some of the shot. It may throw me off, or I may not be ready to counter right away because I'm taking some of the heat off the punch by absorbing it, being like a sandbag. Or if it's to the body, I'm just gonna exhale and fall into it, and then I'm relaxed. I may have some give as I'm blocking that shot. The more give you have, the slower you will be if you counter, but you will take a lot of heat off the punch. You will be able to relax into the shot. It doesn't use much energy. So you have to think about what you're doing, what your purpose is. If you are going to attempt to counter, yes, you want to hold firm so that after that you block that shot, immediately you're in the best position to throw. But for pure defense and for conserving energy, you're better off almost treating your body and trying to think of yourself like a sandbag, relaxing, blocking, being heavy and sinking, especially if you're going to block those body shots. And what helps with making yourself like a sandbag is exhaling into your defense. So here's how you can do it as a simple drill. All you've got to imagine is, let's say imagine a combination coming at you, jab, cross, left hook, overhand right. So here I am. And I'm going to exhale on each one. Okay, and I went all the way through. Let's say another example would be jab, overhand right, shovel hook to the body. So I'd go, I'm relaxing. Now to that body shot, you're gonna exhale and sink into it. Now the thing about exhaling, if you test this out for yourself, you've only got about 8 to 10, probably at most 8 to 10 moves before you're gonna have to take in another breath. So let's say I'm gonna go, by about 8, I'm starting to run out of air. I need to take in air again. Usually it'll only take you 1 beat to take in air. So, and you can take in air, enough air on 1 beat in order to exert yourself. So the key is here to exhale and relax continuously while you're blocking so that you don't ruin your rhythm of your breathing. When you inhale, you do it on 1 beat, or after you've blocked and you're out, you take in that air, then you're ready to go again and relax whatever. The thing about exhaling throughout your defense is it allows you to transition between your offense and your defense more fluidly because you're already exhaling, you're already exerting. Then inhale will happen at some point just on the one beat, or when you're out of the exchange, that's when you can get your inhale in. Again, what you're trying to do with the exhale is avoid holding your breath. So if I'm not inhaling quickly or exhaling, if I'm not doing an inhale or an exhale, what am I doing? I'm holding my breath, and that's what you don't want. So we're all taught to exhale on the offense, but I don't know if a lot of people aren't explicitly taught to exhale on your defense. The inhale's got to happen during that 1 or 2 beats in the exchange when you get a second, or when you're out of range and you're safe. Then you can relax and then go back to your normal breathing, which would be sort of the breathing that you use when you're jogging or running, just moving around, getting into your rhythm. So the drill is, first, defend simple combinations. Jab, overhand right, shovel hook, left hook. So for example, against an orthodox, I go. Now, I wouldn't necessarily stop there. I'm stopping breathing because I'm in the video. It's not necessarily that I'm gonna stop right there. I could go block, and then I'm out, and then back to my regular breathing, and I'm gonna take in my air again. When you flow, when you exhale out with your defense, that allows you to easily transition to your offense because the air is already exhaling. So for example, see, I'm already exhaling, so I can counter immediately. If I hold my breath while I'm blocking, and I want to now suddenly throw a punch, my air is stopped. I'm out of breath. It's going to be hard to stop and exhale and then restart and exhale with pressure without inhaling in between. So the best way for you to do that is try it out for yourself in this simple drill. Let's say somebody throws the 1, 2, 3. You will catch while exhaling, throw your counter. I went fluidly. Now what I want you to do is I want you to try to defend and hold your breath and then counter and see how that works for you. You'll notice that once you've stopped your exhale and you want to go again, that it's hard to get pressure. It's hard to get an exertive force on your offense. The exhaling on into your defense does a lot for you. It helps you transition back to your offense. It helps you relax in your defense. It also gets your body, once the air is fully out, after those 6, 5, 6, 7, 8 moves of exhaling, your body will want all of a sudden take in that air. But if you get stuck in the middle, then you're going to be gasping. You're going to have a hard time getting that air in. From this video, it can be a little bit complex, but you can really train yourself this way through drills. The best way is, if you have a partner, is to get a partner to throw 2 or 3 body shots at you in a row and have you exhale and sink like a sandbag into those body shots. Okay, feel yourself getting relaxed. And also feel that the air is already flowing out, easy for you to counter again. When you're in that zone, when you're in the strike zone, you're moving, you're exhaling. It's allowing your body to relax. It's allowing you to work the motions with more speed and power. It allows you to be more fluid. Also keeps your breathing on the rhythm, as opposed to you're exhaling on your offense, holding your breath, tightening up on your defense, and then your breathing is totally out of rhythm. You're going to be trying to catch up. And especially if you're a beginner or an older fighter who isn't used to the breathing rhythm, it's going to cost you a lot of energy. You're going to be gassed early. You're going to run for miles, do intervals for miles because your breathing is in a pattern. You get in the boxing gym, halfway through the second round, you're out of gas. Often it's because your offense is good. 50% of your boxing is defense. So, well, let's say like you have 30% offense, 30% defense, 30% moving, no exchanges. That defensive time is your bottleneck, because during that time you're holding your breath, freezing up, tightening up. And this is why in a lot of my videos I emphasize the importance of working your defense. It can be a bottleneck in all of your boxing, and the main bottleneck to it is relaxation and exhaling and breathing into your defense, with your defense. So try to work that as a simple drill when you're working the bag, working the shadow boxing. Relax and exhale into your defense. It doesn't even have to be the most forceful exhalation like a punch. You just have to let that air go out so that you can stay on your rhythm, not freeze up and tighten up on your defense, which is what I see a lot of beginners doing. And again, like I was saying, advanced intermediate boxers, they figure this out, but you can either learn the easy way and get into the drill, or you could just figure it out the hard way, where one day you figure it out, but you don't even know when or why or how you figured it out. That could be years down the road. Relaxing and exhaling into your defense. Obviously, you're not going to exert or go crazy with it. It's all about sort of feeling that heaviness, feeling relaxed, keeping your breathing on rhythm. This is going to go a long way, especially if you're a beginner, to helping you conserve energy for your offense, for the other aspects of boxing. So be conscious of this in your training. Feel it out in your sparring. Start to become aware of maybe times when you're holding your breath or becoming that ice sculpture, freezing up. And work through this. Is going to really make a huge difference in your boxing. And again, I really appreciate your feedback on things that you're looking for in gloves. Check out 1v1 gear. I'm going to leave a link in the description below. And if you're looking for custom gloves, then Jason Neese is your guy. I'm looking at making something on a broader scale, more in bulk, and I'd appreciate your feedback on that. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Peace.